How's it going, guys? It's MTG Mondays, and I'm here with another deck tech. Today it's going to be my Dakon Black Blade deck. I'm really only using this guy because of his colors. This is actually a Cleric tribal EDH. I'm waiting for the Lady Evangela to get back in stock on the site that I buy cards from, but for right now I'm using Dakon Black Blade. He's pretty good. He is 7 for a star, when his power and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control. So he gets pretty big pretty fast. In this deck I have 34 lands total. I've got 11 plains, 5 swamps, and it looks like I skipped them, and then 4 islands in this deck. Now we're going to go on to the non-basics. I have Thawing Glaciers. My play group really doesn't care if we use these gold bordered cards, as long as you can't really see them through the back, so that's why I'm using this. Azorius Guildgate, Celestial Colonnade, get him out of the way, Sunken Ruins, Drowned Catacombs, Dimir Guildgate, Dreadship Reef, Darkslick Shores, Caves of Quelos, Orzhov Guildgate, Tainted Field, Fetid Heath. Now we're going to get into the creatures of the deck. The first ones I have set up here are the ones that like to get big, or make other things big. So in this case it's Mikaeus the Luminarch first. He's pretty good, actually. I had my doubts about him for a while, but he's actually fairly good. You can put him out there with 2 counters on him and he still gets pretty ridiculous. And we got the Doubtless one for 3 in a plains for a star. His power and toughness are equal to the number of clerics in play, which is, I'm pretty sure every card in this deck is a cleric, except for Dakon, but pretty sure everyone is. And whenever he deals damage, you gain that much life. Vile Deacon. She's 4 for a 2/2. When she attacks, she gets plus X, where X+X, where that is the number of clerics in play. So she gets pretty big pretty fast also. Next is the kind of utility creatures. So we've got Nova Cleric, which you pay 3 and tap it to sacrifice him and destroy all enchantments. So he's pretty good. Leonin Arbiter prevents all those pesky lands and everything for searching. We have a few search options in our deck, but paying 2 mana just to get, go get a card if you really need it isn't that bad. So he's really good, and he doesn't really hurt our deck too much. True Believer, can't be the target of spells or abilities, pretty nice. Edgewalker makes all my clerics cheaper, which is awesome. Sin Collector, he grabs some pesky cards out of their hand. Fiend Hunter and Banisher Priest, the Oblivion Ring for creatures. Solitary Visionary, I really like this card because he keeps killing enchantment. He keeps killing enchantments. Is that the right words? Anyways, he keeps the enchantments off the board of your opponents, so he's pretty good. Noble Benefactor, I actually like this card. With the Leonin Arbiter out, if your opponent is tapped out and you play this guy, and you have some way to kill him and pay the 2 mana, only you get the search, so that's pretty cool. And we have Phyrexian Metamorph. I used to have a clone in here, but I needed to make some room for something, so I took him out. I kept the Phyrexian Metamorph because he's so versatile. He can be any artifact, which is really nice. Later on you'll see why. Witch Hunter. I really like this. It says Summon Hunter, but it's actually a Cleric. I really like this card because of the return a target creature an opponent controls ability. And it's also nice just, if they don't play anything threatful, you just keep dealing 1 damage to them. Akroma's Devoted, which makes so my clerics don't tap when they attack, give them Vigilance. False Prophet, way to clear the board. And he's a cleric, so that's kind of neat. Oh, that's right, this is the only cleric that's not in the deck, but she creates clerics when she dies, so that's the Death Pact Angel. Clergy of the Holy Nimbus. For 1 white, he's a 1/1. It's kind of hard to see on these older cards. So when he dies, unless an opponent plays one, you get to regenerate this card, so that's kind of cool. High Priest of Penance, he's really fun. Being able to make him indestructible and just keep killing things, make him a good blocker. Exorcist, I actually have a pretty cool little thing in here for him so he can snipe off creatures. He's pretty good. 1 and a black, tap him, destroy target black creature. Disciple of Grizzlebrand is part of my combo, part of one of my combos that I'll go over later. I'll set them up here. So is Shaman Encore. Actually, I guess we're right to it. So Shaman Encore is also part of it, along with Daru Spiritualist. So what you do is you have all these on the field. Use Shaman Encore to redirect any 1 damage from it to a creature you control. So you pay 0 to target any other cleric on the field. And when a cleric becomes a target of spell or ability, it gets +2/0. And then you sacrifice that creature to gain life equal to its toughness. So you gain an absurd amount of life with that. If you wanted to, you could actually add in any of the blue creatures that switch power and toughness to this deck to make it so you just attack for a huge amount. Or as you'll see in a little while, or actually I forgot to go over that. Starlight, it's in the back here. After you'll see in a little while, Starlight Sanctum, you can throw it at them, kind of use it as a fling. Now we're into the creatures that gain us more life that aren't the combo. So we got Soul's Attendant, Soul Warden. These are all clerics too, so it's kind of nice. Suture Priest, Healer of the Pride, Ancestor's Prophet. He's pretty cool. Tap 5 clerics and gain 10 life. Pretty good. Resplendent Mentor. This guy is awesome in here because it's pretty much a mono white creature deck. There's a very few non-white creatures in the deck, so you get a lot of this, which is nice. Pontiff of Blight. Everything gets extort, which is nice. And then we're on to the other, I guess you can call it flavor of the deck, which is the protections. Protection that clerics give things. So first off, we have Mother of Runes, Devoted Caretaker. I like this one because it gives them protection from pretty much any kill spell or any kind of burn spell or anything. And it's target permanent too, so that's nice. 8.5 Tails. Make things white and then give something protection from white. Pretty good card. Beloved Chaplain. Protection from creatures. Kind of neat just for a 1/1 for 2. Battlefield Medic. Prevent the next X damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn, where X is the number of clerics in play. Beacon of Destiny. This with immortality is pretty nice, or invincibility or whatever it's called is pretty nice. Just keep directing damage to him. Samite Archer. She deals 1 damage to something, and she prevents 1 damage. So Hedron Field Purists. Pretty nice if you get it leveled up all the way. Hallowed Healer. Awesome if you have Threshold. Prevents the next 4 damage that will be dealt to something. Semite Elder. Creatures you control have protection of the color from the color of target permanent you control till the end of turn. So if this guy's out there, I can give him all my creatures protection from white, black, and blue. Wandering Mage. Pay 1 life, prevent up to 2 damage to any creature. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this life loss. Prevent 1 damage to any cleric or wizard. Let's see. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature you control. Prevent up to 2 damage to any player. Orum's Samite Healer. She's a pretty cool one. She prevents 3 damage, which is one of the higher ones that I have. That prevents. Aven Redeemer. Master Healer. I think he's the highest other than the ones that just prevent all damage, but he prevents 4. Daunting Defender, which is pretty cool. Just it's kind of a blanket protection on everything. Shield Mage Elder. Tap 2 untapped clerics to prevent all damage target creature would deal, and then 2 untapped wizards to prevent all damage target spell would deal. And there's a few of them that are cleric wizards or human wizard cleric something, So I can actually use this ability too, which is nice. Glare Caster is really fun. If something happens and you get a huge amount of damage swinging at you, you can throw that damage back at them, which is cool. And then we have gonna go into the spells now, the non-creatures of the deck. And first off, we have Increasing Ambition. This little part is the tutor package that we have, because the deck is at essence a combo deck. So if you just have to win, you just use your tutors. Diabolic Revelation, Diabolic Tutor. Here's the one enchantment that I like to have with that High Priest of Penance. Makes him indestructible, so he just gets to kill a lot of things. Darkest Hour is the enchantment I was talking about with Exorcist, this guy. So it makes everything black, all creatures are black, and then so he can just ping off any creature in play, which is kind of fun. Rhystic Study, it's because it's got blue in the deck. I play Rhystic Study. Now we're on to the board wipes. Most of the board wipes I have in here are selective board wipes, because this deck does like to play a lot of creatures, but you don't like to lose all your creatures if it's at all possible. So the first one I have is Harsh Mercy. So each player chooses a creature type, destroy all creatures that are not the type of the chosen. So I usually choose Clerics, which is a big shocker in this deck. Hallowed Burial is not a selected one, but it's, you use it if you really have to. Solar Tide is selective. A lot of the creatures are fairly weak until you get later on in the game, so being able to destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater is really nice. It takes it out of the reach of, even if they have creatures that are still less than power 3, you can still use a bunch of the guys that prevent damage to just be okay with it. Here's another one that's not selective, but if you have to use it, use it. Merciless Eviction. I really like this card because sometimes I made this deck online, and sometimes I had a problem with the enchantment decks. So you can exile all enchantments, you can kill all the planeswalkers or all creatures or all artifacts. So this one's nice. And here's one that is selective in your favor unless you have Darkest Hour out. If you have Darkest Hour out, it just kills everything. But yeah, so with this you just destroy all non-white creatures, which is kind of nice. And then we have only one singleton kind of spot removal, which is Swords of Plowshares. More combos. Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Blood combo. It's kind of a scummy combo, but if you're running black, why not run it? This deck is kind of scummy anyways. And here's some more things that you can do to enable the Daru Spiritualist combo, which is right here. Because they have Equip 0, so you just equip these over and over again on something to give them +0/+2 infinitely, pretty much. I have to say, playing this deck on MTGO really sucks because you have to do all of the activations individually, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. And then with the guys that are really, really big in the deck, you can just make them unblockable and swing for game, because there is a huge number of creatures in this deck, actually, so being able to swing for game out of nowhere is kind of fun. And that is pretty much it. That is my Cleric Tribal EDH, or Commander, I guess. It's really fun. I really like the flavor of the Clerics because they kind of just sit around and don't do anything for a while, and then they can win out of nowhere, which is fun. And I guess these are two lands that kind of snuck their way into the basic slot, but Reliquary Tower, so I don't have any maximum hand size, and this is Starlight Sanctum, another part of the combo, to where you can sack a Cleric and gain its toughness, or you can pay a black, sack a Cleric to make them lose life equal to the power. Well, guys, that's it. Tell me what you think about the deck below. Make sure to let me know if you have any suggestions for the next EDH deck I should build, and I'll see you next time.